You were telling me something about Iron Man and the Chinese. That's an interesting.
Somebody told me.
Yeah, I saw it somewhere, but I didn't read
that
it.
Iron Man 3. I believe that. I mean, it's long been. Even when I moved to LA in the '90s, it was already the case that at least 60% of all these big movies, their box office comes from overseas. I mean, we've long been living in the age of we think that we're like this, Monroe Doctrine culture, like giving out entertainment to foreign markets. But,
sure.
And in some respect, that's true because they still just want to see Robert Downey Jr. fly around in a robot.
Yeah, nobody's
suit.
watching Lollywood movies. That's the Pakistani film industry.
Right. But I mean now China's emerging as like this giant market to the point where they remade Red Dawn, and they were originally it was like the Chinese invaded America, and then they had to go back in, and they're still like using computers to change everything to Korean. Did you know about that?
No. Wow.
Well, Red Dawn's out now. We can watch it now and like look at it. That's what happened. That's why Red Dawn took so long.
I heard that King Kong versus Godzilla had different endings. In Japan, Godzilla wins, and here King Kong wins.
Wait, I'm sorry. I thought you were doing a bit.
Nope. I think that's real.
Do you mean the old school ones, or do you
Yeah.
Way
Dean
longer. Devlin bothered to make a thing?
No. Dean Devlin did not give a shit about.
So what I heard is that Iron Man 3 had like 4 minutes of extra Chinese bonus footage in it, where Tony Stark says like, "We got to warn the world about this threat," and then like there's a scene where in the Chinese release where he goes to China and is like, and that's why we gotta all band together against this octopus monster, whatever the thing is, and then he's like, "I love China." And the article that was printed about it was had the angle that the Chinese audiences had kind of rejected it critically. They were as into it as you would be if it was the other way around. Like if we loved Chinese movies, which some of us do, but I mean if China was just the place that made blockbuster movies and shipped them over here, and we went to see Iron Man 3.
Yeah, instead of like lead paint, if they focused on movies.
If they paused to say America rocks, like we whether we agreed or not, we'd be like dumb.
Yeah. Well, it's Doctor Who, which I really, really love. There's a whole now it's getting popular here. There's a season where they shot some in America, and he's literally wearing a cowboy hat and stuff. And for me, even though I'm sort of an honorary American, it really, really bugged me that they were clearly making such a transparent effort to like woo American audiences.
In what?
Doctor Who.
Oh.
He wears like a cowboy hat, and he's in like Utah and stuff. And it's exactly what you were saying. I think what people don't like about it is with the comedian who's just talking about what they think they want to hear versus what they really want to talk about.
Yes, absolutely.
I think it's the exact same principle.
Yeah, entertainment is voyeurism. I don't know why we feel compelled to.
Yeah.
I mean, for God's sakes, like and that's the thing about reference humor too. Like, I guess it makes sense that you remake The Office and then you're gonna go through and you're gonna change the references. Fine, but like we go too far with it, or we go like, oh, no one wants to watch ugly people on TV. It's like, of course we do.
Yeah, I mean that's when
we're ugly. Who else would we want to watch on TV?
Most of us are ugly.
Yeah,
I've really gotten into these like European crime shows, like from Sweden and Denmark and stuff. And what's so weird about it, I was like, what's so different? Because they're amazing shows, but also they'll have shows where nobody's attractive on the whole show.
Yeah, and then and a lot of anal.
And a lot of anal.
Way more in Swedish detective shows. Like it gets a little weird.
Because I would say most network TV had almost no anal.
Yeah.
And then these guys.
That's a big difference. I mean, we're really uptight about that.
Yeah. Those guys, assholes loose.
Have you seen Swedish Columbo? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like that whole. And Columbo was originally Swedish, right? It was an adaptation. Like,
is that right?
The original Swedish Columbo. Yeah. The reason why Peter Falk would pretend to start to leave and then he'd come back in
is for the.
That was all originally like an anal sex thing.
Yeah, because he's like, oh, I just one more anal. That's what the original quote was.
He would pull it out. But I mean, I don't want to get graphic about it, but it was like it became Americanized, and it became like he's just in a raincoat and he's just leaving the scene and coming back in for another question. But in the Swedish Columbo, it was
Peter Falk was very, very anti that. He always thought it was selling out, and he really was like, there should be the same amount of anal.
Yeah, and he got in a huge fight with John Landis about that, and he in the fist fight, that's how he lost an eye. Peter Falk.
Yeah, that's true. And then John Landis
flew. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, I stopped. Give and take.
No. John Landis actually went back on set and was like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna do the helicopter scene." He was so out. It's funny when you're sometimes like you could just see what the other person is thinking.
Well, yeah, we connect the dots. John Landis is here tonight, by the way, and happy that we're still connecting that dot.
By the way, I know John Landis. I did an episode of television with him.
Yeah? What did you do?
Franklin
and Bash? Did he do an episode?
I did actually do Franklin and Bash, and we shoot in Santa Clarita, which is about 30 miles north of. It's just it's by like Six Flags, whatever. And there was one day where we were shooting, and he said, Charlie Chaplin shot Modern Times in Santa Clarita. Now I'm shooting fucking Franklin and Bash.
Wait, no, are you joking? John Landis shot Franklin and Bash and said that?
Yeah, that's what he said while it was a long day and we had 3 more hours.
Surrounded by people who are on Team Franklin and Bash.
Franklin and Bash were there.
And Franklin was like, yeah, because he's a dick, right? And Bash was like, fuck this guy, because Bash is like the John Lennon of Franklin and Bash.
It was just such a weird moment for everyone, because even there was also John Landis being like, I'm doing Franklin and Bash now, and also just you look at like all the grand scheme of entertainment that people have made, and it's just a weird.
God damn it! There was a. Never mind.
What?
No, I can't. Yeah, no, it's not, and it's not. It's just catty. Who cares? It's not. I don't want to talk shit about people because like how many times have I had an encounter with somebody and they're telling some story about like I don't want to be represented by some random encounter by a bathroom.
Yeah, everyone has a bad day.
Yeah.
Some people have many.
Harrison Ford fucking like raped my mom.
That's a bad day for 2 people. Although your mom got a great story out of it.
Yeah, if I showed you like what my mom wears like on an average day,
it just says "Fuck me, Indiana" on it.
Harrison Ford. like yeah. Get off of my plane and into my pussy. It says. It doesn't even make sense. I said, Mom, it doesn't make sense. Is it your plane or
just the words?
Are you the president? And she's like, oh, should I make another shirt? And I'm like, stop it.
Yeah.
Talk to Dad. He's like you change the locks. You don't communicate. And there's Netflix now. You can watch more movies. Like you don't even know this person.
Yeah, he's got a lot of movies.
And if you ever run into him, which he ended up doing, you're gonna get raped.
That's what Harrison Ford does.
And the judge, as he did, is gonna let him go. Because he's gonna say, "Look what you were wearing," and it's not gonna be like a sexist thing, because what you were wearing was a sandwich board that said, "Please fuck me."
Yeah. Also,
and black people shouldn't be allowed to vote. I just think if you say things in this voice and you don't open your mouth all the way, I think women are inferior.
That's how.
I just, it's Shahruz comes out here. He's got a cobra in a basket. He's playing a phone. He's riding a magic carpet around.
This is okay. We might have to take this out too. But Emily's mom.
I feel like Emily's mom. If she doesn't know that 9/11 was an inside job. I don't know.
But she like whispers 3 words. Like whenever she says them, she doesn't say them out loud. Like she'll be like, the 3 words are like, he has cancer. She whispers cancer. He has depression. And the word Jewish.
All incurable. She's not saying like they're bad people. She just knows that they can't go, there's nothing they can do about it.
He's very nice. He's Jewish, but very nice.